Are your hands permanently dyed?
Yeah, pretty much. This time of year, yes,
Yes.
they are. Very much so. This is the season. I'm going to do an indigo dyeing demonstration if you want to see the magic of making blue onto cloth. Turning this white to blue. Would you like to see that? Okay. Sounds good. You want to see the magic? Let's do that then. Well, it could be a good advert. Send them around the fair.
That's clear water.
Yes, it is. That's it. Okay. Hello, everyone. Shall we wait for your darling? I'm sorry, I missed you.
That's all right.
Scanning for you there. So hi everybody, welcome to the indigo dyeing part of the Gloucester's Fair, and let's start by saying thank you so much for coming. It's wonderful to see all your smiling faces and your enthusiasm. I think I might be competing a little bit with the spoon carving or something over there, so excuse me, I might talk over those cheers a little bit. Indigo. What is indigo? Indigo is a plant. There are about 750 species of plant worldwide that have got a content in them called indigo, a compound called indigo. Glad they're cheering for me. The indigotin is in different levels of content. So if you look historically throughout the world, you'll find that there are certain areas that have got an indigo dyeing history. That's where the plant is that has got a particularly high concentration of indigotin. So we can look at Japan. Japan's got a really big content, or a really high indigotin content in its plant, Pesicaria tinctoria. You can look at West Africa, you look at parts of India, and then you can look at South America as well, because it's got indigo dyeing process there. They use the fermented vat, which is the most fantastical way to use it. They gather the fresh leaves, they put it in their vat that lives in their house like this. They'll add some wood ash from the fire to create the alkalinity, and they'll feed the vat with some of their raw fruit that's all gone off, like a peach or a banana ripe. That's how they do it. Unfortunately in Victoria we can't maintain the fermented vat because of the weather fluctuates too much and the fermentation process won't like that. So the next best thing I can do is do a fructose vat, which is mimicking what the fermented vat does. So in this big bucket here, I've got water and indigo powder. I've also added hydrated lime or builder's lime, and I've also added some fructose. What do they all do? Well, the water's there as the carrier, and the indigo's there to make the colours. The lime is there to create an alkaline environment because indigo works best in alkalinity. So the water is being alkalized by the builder's lime, and the fructose is the most important one. The fructose creates a reduction. Now, before I get too chemistry orientated here, are there any big chemists in the house that want to jump in and take that? So, let's go back to science days where you've got the hexagonal shape in your periodic tables or your science labs. That's your indigo molecule. And it's got all these little things attached to them with O's and H's, oxygen, hydrogen. The oxygen is the one that the fructose is pulling off the molecule to create a reduction. So it's not actually blue in there anymore, it's like a yellowy colour. That's indigo in its reduced state. The magic happens when it's being reduced, all the oxygen's been pulled away. As soon as I pull it out, all the oxygen that we're breathing around us is going to reattach. So the chemical process is reduction and oxidation. Okay, this morning I came in early and I heated the vat up to about 60 degrees and then I gave it a big stir. so that the fructose and the indigo can talk to one another and create that reduction, and the lime can whiz around and alkalize the whole vat. And now the lime, because it's heavy, has dropped to the bottom, and that's where I want it to stay, because I don't want it to touch my indigo dyeing process. That's why I put the little basket in as well. So if I'm going to dip something in, it's not going to drop and hit the lime at the bottom. I've just wet out a lovely scarf here, and in this water I've added a little bit of soda ash. The soda ash is only trace. It's the stuff you use as a pH balancer in your swimming pool. So I put the soda ash in a little jam jar and dissolve it, and then that jam jar I just put a tiny splash in, so that the fabric knows that it's going to be working in an alkaline environment. Like an aperitif before your meal. This is what we're doing with the fabric. Okay, so when I put this beautiful white scarf in the vat, I'm going to submerge it fully, and I'm going to keep it down there. If it starts to pop out, the oxidation process will start, and then you will have a patchy product, not a clean product. So I'm going to do my best to keep it fully submerged under the water. And also I'm going to go from one end to the other and massage each piece of cloth so it's all touching the indigo. It'll take about a minute for me to demonstrate this, and I'm happy to take any questions while I'm working in the vat if you've got any questions while we go. And just a word to the wise, watch as I put the scarf in, because you'll see that it's quite yellow, that. And watch really, I'll give you warning, but watch really, really carefully when I'm pulling it out, because that's when the magic happens. That's when you'll see it's yellow, very quickly it'll turn to green, and then it'll start to turn to blue. And you're going to be my assistant as well. Okay, you're in the right spot for this system. When I pull it out, I'm going to squeeze it, and then I'm going to give you one end pull, and I'm going to stretch it out. Does that work for you? Thank you for that. Okay, here we go. Into the vat it goes. Okay, the vat's probably around, it feels good in here, it's probably around 31 degrees now. I know. Oh, that feels nice. It's like a nice warm indigo bath I'm in. Excuse me, everyone. So it's about 31 degrees in here, and it's a really pleasant temperature to work in. You can work until it gets to about low 20s, and then that's when the indigo stops working. And all you do is put the lid on and leave it to the side, and the next time you want to work with the vat, a bit of fructose to get it going again. And I know that's not a very technical term, a bit, but you know, a good teaspoon or tablespoon of fructose dissolved, and then you need to check the vat for the pH level and make sure that the pH level is around 9.5 to 10. When you get to my stage as well, you can tell just by the smell of the vat if it's what it needs. And in Japan, they sometimes, with the fermented vats, they'll actually take a little sip of it, and they can tell by tasting the vat if it's good. I wouldn't want to taste mine because I've got lime in there, but if it was all natural things, I would taste it if I was in Japan, yeah. I'd like to try that. Okay, is everybody ready?
Yes.
It's going to come out now, and you're going to see the magic happen. And you're ready? What's your name?
Leon.
Thank you, Leon. Leon's ready. Jude's ready. Everyone else ready?
I'm ready.
Everybody's ready. That's great. Here we go, guys. It's like magic. So Leon. Leon, 2 hands. Thank you, my dear boy. And see. Here we go. And as the oxygen starts to hit, we'll just give it a little bit of shake like this for it, Leon. You can see that it's starting to turn completely blue. Pretty quick. Pretty quick it happens. And to build up the indigo colour, that's your first dip. To build up the colour, you dip multiple times. And after you've dipped about 3 times, you give it a little bit of a rinse in some water, because there'll be very small bits of indigo, like microscopic bits of indigo sitting on the cloth. And you want to grit the dyeing process and keep going. If you still want to hang around, please, Leon, for another 2 minutes. I'm going to re-dip to there, and that's going to be you're going to be able to see what 1 dip looks like, 2 dips looks like. So back in we go. And again, back in my indigo bath. And just massaging all the bits. You have to do it very gently. If you get a bit too over exuberant with your massaging, you'll introduce oxygen to the vat. It won't damage the vat, but it will mean that you've got less time to work with the indigo process in that day. And that's always disappointing, because it's a big day. You know, I get up early in the morning and heat this vat up, and my partner goes to work and says bye, and I'm still there when he comes home. And he looks at me and what are you doing? That's the process. That's the process. All right, Leon, I'm coming out again, and we're going to do the same that we did before. You got it. You got it. It's like full on sheet, Leon. Go. So can you see what I'm talking about already? And it's so hot today, and this is such a lightweight silk. Even the bits in the middle are drying out so much. Thank you. I just grab a little bit. Thank you, Leon. Very light to work with. Another demonstration at 3. If I hold that to you now,
Yeah, got it.
can you see? This is still wet, so it's going to get a little bit lighter. This is drying off, but that's the process. And you just carry on doing that ad infinitum until you're happy that you've achieved the colour that you want to achieve. And then once you've got the indigo dyed on your scarf or on your skein of wool, then you can think about the next step. You don't want the blue, or sometimes you want to go to mordant, which is another process, and then you want to go to introducing a yellow to make green, or you want to go to introducing a pink to make those perfect colours.
There you go.